Good morning, everyone. Sorry for being a little bit late this morning. For those of you that may be in a similar age bracket to me, you may well be able to relate when I said I've just spent well over 5 minutes hunting for my phone. But we found it now. I'd inadvertently moved my calculator and put it on top of it, and my calculator is beautifully the perfect size to completely cover my phone. So it was as if it had disappeared off the face of the earth. But we're here now. My name, if you don't know who I am, is Helen Jennings. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator based here in the UK. And it never bodes well when it's been that mad before you even hit the go live button. So let's see what the morning brings us. I thought today we'd have a bit of a play with paper. That's all I've got out in front of me is paper and the ink colours that go with it. Now I don't even have stamp sets and things that go with this paper. Let me just grab my catalogue. So this is the, I want to say Playful Pets. Yes, it is the Playful Pets suite of products. And it's a lovely little suite. It just is that it hasn't yet got to the top of my shopping list. My shopping list and my what I want list is very long, and the money in the bank doesn't quite match, you know, and sometimes you have to make decisions. Even I have to make decisions. But it's a really gorgeous suite. Morning Caroline, morning Beryl, morning Lisa. It is a really gorgeous suite. You've got the stamp set and dies, which are here. They're really sweet, aren't they? So you've got dogs and cats. I love this one that looks like he's having a bit of a scratch. Just fabulous. And the little butterflies and the little mouse, and so really cute. And you've got dies that will coordinate with that as well. Let's have a little close-up look at those. So as I say, it's not because it's not on my I'd really quite like this list, it's just that it's not yet got to the top. There's the little dies, they cut out the creatures, and then you've got this little paw print one here. So yeah, they're lovely. And one day I would like to have them, but for now all I have got is the papers. But I think that we can still play with those papers. Look, I love how the way, if you have a look at that close up, you can see how those paw prints have cut out of that card to make a border. Really cute. So yeah, you've got the stamps and the dies, you've got the designer series paper, you've got a combo of ribbon and twine, which is really nice. But there's the little die, look. Where's it gone? There's the little die that cuts out your paw prints. That's cute, isn't it? And then you've got these little trinkets that are like bones and things. Also very cute. So a lovely, lovely suite of products. But for now, all that we have is the paper. Morning, Div. So I thought we'd have a play, and actually I've not played with this paper at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, so we've got 6 different papers there. We've got various dogs, various cats, and if you have dogs and cats, you might be able to recognise your own. Look at this one, isn't that fabulous? And then you've got some backgrounds. So we've got cat toys and fishy bowls, dog collars and paws. And then if we turn them over, purr, snooze, yawn, paw, jump, love, meow, and that one. And then this one we've got play, love, bark, woof, dig, chase, scratch, wag. Gorgeous, aren't they? Got a nice stripe there, lovely paw prints. I like this one, look, it's like furry sort of idea, and you've got fishes and hearts and things on there. So some really fun papers, and we're going to have a play. So as I say, I've grabbed the colours that go with it. So the colours for this suite are Real Red, Flirty Flamingo, Cinnamon Cider, Soft Suede, Early Espresso and Basic Black. So I haven't got a black there because that's in the back, deciding whether we want Memento or Stays On, but we've got the other colours. So let's have a think. Morning, Jeanette, what we could play with these papers and these colours and things. I think we need to do one cat and we need to do one dog. Now it could be one cat card and one dog card. I'm going to have this cat just here and roughly cut around that. I might have to have a little mouse. I rather like this cat here too. I have to say that we've had both cats. We've obviously got our dog and we've had cats, so you know, I'm not fiercely one camp over the other. Or do we need one more? I think I'm going to have this one here, the one that looks absolutely terrified. It's like, what the heck are you doing? Okay, so there's our little cats that we've chosen. Morning, Glenda. Let's just give these a bit of a fussy cut. I'm going to lose some of their sort of wispy bits just because they do make it a bit difficult to cut round. We'll have a look at these whiskers in a minute. We're definitely going to want whiskers. So either we're going to cut round them or we're going to draw them in. We'll see how we go. Around his tail there. So say if need to, we'll go in and draw whiskers in, but for now we seem to be holding on to them. Just need to lose that bit in there. Yeah, that's not bad going. So we've managed to hang on to whiskers. So that's Terrified Cat. This is Grumpy Cat. I was a bit disgusted at having to have had this pink bow tied around him. It's like, really? You want me to wear this? What are you doing to me? Now, I think I'm going to chop these whiskers off and we're going to draw him in some more because I think those are even more wispy, those whiskers. Fear not, that's now why he's grumpy. He's grumpy because we've cut off his whiskers. Bless him. him or her. I think that that's probably a tomcat who is most disgusted at having a bow put on him. It's just like, what? What is going on? This is a cheeky kitten. He'd be a kitten that would play with your knitting wool and attack your legs as you came down the stairs. Chase your ribbon across the room. Climb the curtains. He just has that look about him of being a bit of a mischievous kitty. But almost all the more lovable because of that. I think whoever the artist was for these papers, whoever drew the images for these creatures was very much an animal lover, because they just captured such expression. So there's our 3 little kittens. We've got this little ball of wool here. We did have a cat actually that we'd adopted. He passed away about 12 months ago, just over. We'd adopted as a bit of a waif and stray, and he never played. Very rarely. I think in all the time we had him, there was sort of, you could count on your hand the number of times that he suddenly scooted off after something. But then we had a cat when I was first married. He was a big fluffy old tomcat. He liked to play chase. If you rolled up a crisp packet and threw it for him, he'd bring it back for you to throw again. I think, yes, I was going to say, I think that was probably just a bit too much. I think likewise we'll just have a little ball of wool, and if we want to add extra tails to it, we'll get our pen out and do that. And the same with this mouse. I'll draw in a tail for him if he's going to have one. Right, so there's our little cats. So let's have a look. I love these papers with the sort of meow, purr sort of bits on them. So I think we'll cut ourselves out a rectangle. Hi Karen. We'll have a stitched rectangle of the paper with all the words on. I'll just run that through my die cutting machine. I've got my Simply Chamois set clean some water. Let's get rid of the excess water. Not terrorise the dog like I did when I was doing a live class the other day. I threw the water out the back door and the dog was sitting there fighting the living daylights out of him. Morning, Emma. Right, so let's peel this off around the outside. That's fun as well, isn't it, that paper there? There we have all our purrs and meows and things. I think we'll grab nested labels, so we'll have some more stitching but in a different shape, and yeah, possibly that one. And I think we'll go Flirty Flamingo because we've got Flirty Flamingo in their ears just there. So let's see if we've got some embodiment of Flirty Flamingo that's big enough. For that. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So we'll cut that out. Want a bit of a black mat going on here. What I'm actually going to do is let's get the rough measurements for this. So it's about 12.2 by 8.7. So I'm going to make this 9.2 by 12.7. Hopefully that's my maths right for having a .5mm board around the edge. Yes, that's looking good. That looks as if at least my maths is working this morning. We're going to have Flirty Flamingo card base. So I'm going to cut this. I'm actually going to cut it this way, 10.5 centimeters, so in half but lengthways. Then we'll score this piece in half at 14.9ish. No, I don't think we want all of that. I think we just want something of a bit of a, and just cut a strip that is 1.5 centimeters, I think. No, that was a bit of a play that I think we're going to go, no, I don't think we need that there. Now if I had the stamp set, I might put some paw prints on that card base, but I haven't. I'm going to dig out, don't tell the cats, but I've got a dog punch, and I'm going to grab some real red. I think I'll just have some little hearts going on. Now let's thread this through this way, and we're just going to punch out some little hearts. Such a useful little heart, this punch. We'll go with 5 and see where that takes us. I'm just going to, actually the Project Life and the journal pens, I think I'm writing saying have retired, but you can use a stamping white marker. I've just got that one to hand, but just some sort of fine liner that I'm going to use to fill in whiskers and things. Okay, let's see about putting these little cats together. I'm going to bring you over here, guys, while we sort this one out. Let's put down some Tombow. These Tombows do amaze me. I thought this Tombow was going to run out about beginning of last week, I think, and it's still going strong. So we've got our 30 finger card base. We've got our all those sort of snooze, yawn, paw, jump, love, meow, purr words on the back there. Let's put that to one side in a minute, and let's build up. We'll have Grumpy Cat in the back. And then we'll grab some dimensionals. Where have you gone, scissors? You can't be far away. We had you not long ago. Must be staring at you somewhere. It is just a mystery, isn't it? Got the end of the scissors, just haven't got the scissors themselves. I can see them, they're there. There we go. What was I doing? What was I looking for the scissors for? It was to cut up those dimensionals that I've now buried again. Oh dear, it's going to be a day obviously of burying things and not being able to find them again. Right, let's bring in Terrified Puss. And we'll have him sitting up here in the front, and then we'll have Naughty Puss. We could almost name these if you have any suggestions for names for these cats. This one I'm just putting on now, I think should definitely be a scamp or something. This one needs a very posh name. Farquhar or... Right, so let's have a little ball of wool. I'm going to stick that down underneath Scamp's paw. And then we've got this little mouse just here. I'm going to cut a tiny little bit of dimensional just to stick underneath there. Sad sack, yes, for Grumpy Cat. Morning, Francis. We're just naming these cats. He is something else, isn't he? Going to have this little mouse sort of up against Terrified Cat, so that he's looking as if he's saying, "What is that? Get it away from me. Help, I'm being attacked." I'm going to take my little, let's just give him a tail, and we're just going to carry on whiskers for Grumpy Cat here. If you've got a friend or somebody with a cat, you'd be able to pick out which is their cat, which is the cat that's going to perhaps remind them of their own. I'm going to pop this in here. I'm going to stick it down because we've added dimensionals to the cats on the front. I don't want to add too much height because that makes it a bit more difficult when you come to post it. And then we're just going to have some of these hearts around the place. And then we'll find a greeting in a second. Obviously you can see, whereas if you've got some of that red and black and white twine or red ribbon, that would be fabulous in there, but as yet I haven't. So what shall we have to go with? What greeting shall we have to go with these guys? I was quite tempted with the smile one. What about We're the Best of Friends? So this is from the Free as a Bird set. I know, they are just such characters, aren't they, Linda? We've had a variety of cats over the years. From they've all sort of been waifs and strays, but certainly had, in amongst those waifs and strays, had pedigree ones, and all sorts of things, but yeah, they're good fun. Right, I'm going to take a black. I think it's come with Memento. I'll just stamp that onto some Whisper White card. Just bring this round this way. Now, I'm going to take my snips and with her. Best. So actually it could even be that you've got a group of friends that you can identify. Who's the naughty one, who's the grumpy one, and who's the one that's terrified of their own shadow. There we are. Let's stick that on there. We're the best of friends. Bless them. Okay, so there's a cat card using, apart from the punches, from the heart punch, and bringing in a greeting from, obviously from a different set. We've just used the paper because, quite frankly, that's all we've got is the paper. So let's go on to a dog card. Let's see what we can do with man's best friend. So let's come and have a look. That's lovely paper, isn't it? Might have to do something with that. Now again, just look at these characters on here. Look at this one. So this is obviously Grumpy Cat's friend here. This is Grumpy Dog. He's like come scamp out of the... He's like Lady and the Tramp, isn't he? There we are. He's the tramp out of Lady and the Tramp. It's a lovely face. Little dash hound there. Just lovely. And then on this one we've got these bigger dogs. We've got this Great Dane. This one just here. He's Playful, isn't he? This one. When I was little growing up, we had a long-haired German Shepherd Alsatian called Rebel. Lovely dogs. So yes, so what are we going to have out of here? Ooh, decisions. Really rather love the Great Dane. I also love this scamp. I've seen lots of these, obviously everybody's favourite, and obviously he features in the stamp set as well, and I would imagine that the dies would cut him out. I'm going to go with losing my scissors again. But once they're back with us, here they are. I want to take this little guy down here because he reminds me of my friend's dog, Mulch Diggums. So although he's slightly different colours, he does certainly have a look of Mulch Diggums about him. And I love this big Great Dane with the lollopy tongue just here. So let's have him. We may come back to more, who knows, but for now I'm going to take those two. My daughter has got a dog who is a husky cross. She's beautiful, and she has a very long lollopy tongue like this. And I went to see my daughter and her husband and my grandson, not the weekend just gone, but the weekend before. That was the first time we've seen them since the beginning of March, since Kellen's birthday. And I have to say that prize for the for the creature that greeted me with most rapture has to go to the dog. She went bananas. She ran up and down, she cried, she sat lying with her head against my leg. She was just beside herself with joy. It was very lovely. Oh, I think I've cut his tail off a bit, but never mind. We'll make it work. There he is, and then his little friend. Watch Diggins in the past has been to stay on holiday with us while his mummy's been away. None of these dogs particularly look like my dog. In fact, the one that looks most like my dog is the Punch, because he's a lab collie cross, so he's very much that shape. That's his profile. And let's come around the furry outside. Mulch Diggums is very sort of spiky and furry. So these aren't the colours, he's not this colour particularly, he hasn't got the black, but certainly the facial expression. The zest for life is certainly there. Now, if I'd got a bit more time, I'd probably fiddle with this a little bit more. But that's not bad. There we go. We have our two little dogs. Now, what shall we have? So this paper's got the stripes on, this has got the paw prints on, and I quite like those paw prints. And I might have a little strip of those. Let's go with a 2 centimetre strip of paw prints. And I do love this paper here, which has also got the paw prints on. I'm going to cut a piece of this. That is, I'm going to go 13.9 by 9.5. To 10 by 14.4. I'm going to grab, I think, another. Let's cut ourselves a strip of black card. 10 centimetres by 2.5, and then we'll take this strip and we'll cut that to 10 centimetres as well. I think we'll go with a real red card base for this one. Let's see if that's the right size. Let's score that at 10.5 and fold that. Looking good so far. Now we're going to need to decide how we're going to put those on. So are we going to go with another stitched rectangle? Coming down this way. I think I'm going to cut one of those in black and one in red. Oh, I think that's going to be fairly perfect just there. And then we want a black piece of black card. Let's see. see what I've got in my oddments. Oh, apologies, I'm beating you up. And there's one for our black card. Let's die cut those. Black. Red. My paper to one side for a moment. They're looking fun, aren't they? The one thing I'm really missing actually is the sort of just the plain twines, the white twine. I like the black as well. I haven't yet got the red linen braided. That would be quite nice as well. But I think I'm just going to go with, might bring in the normal linen braided thread. We'll have some of that going on somewhere. And we need a greeting. So what are we going to have for these guys? Oh, what about happy day? He looks like he's having a very happy day. I think that will work nicely. Again, I think we'll do it in black. And I need to take this up a little bit. Let's perfect. And I think we will have that going on an angle that way and on an angle that way. And we'll have that coming down there. Oh, what have you got on your eye? Okay, let's start sticking these together. I think we can see where we're going. So this paper, so this one has got all the doggy words on the back. Again, a great paper. And then we'll have this one sticking on here. And it just goes to prove really the value to start with of our designer series paper. It is gorgeous, it's beautiful quality, but you can, it's not just for backgrounds, it is in itself an instrument of inspiration. That was something to get your tongue around, wasn't it? So get your scissors out and start cutting little bits out of it, and you can do all sorts of things, cutting different shapes out of it, layering it up using different patterns. And of course, any one pack of paper, the colours in it are all going to coordinate, because they're all from that same colour palette. It's just the one colour palette that's been used all the way across the board. Right, I'm going to, what have we got here? Still looking at dimensionals. These ones came out of a kit, but they need using up just the same. I'm going to raise that up and some dimensionals going across here. Let's stick these together. That's very wonky, Helen. I'm going to put some dimensionals top and bottom on here, so that it sort of is going over the top of that centre border. Like that, so it is rising up as well, but it is sort of only the same layer as this one underneath. Not layered it up anymore. Happy day. I'm going to stick that across the bottom here. A bit of a jaunty angle, and then we'll add in these little guys. So let's have I'm going to bring him across a little bit so he looks like he's actually standing on the happy day. And then we'll put some dimensionals on the back of this one, and having balancing on that edge. So I'm going to take just a bit of a slither of this, Might make that a bit narrower of a slither actually. So just want to give his paw a bit of something just to support it, like that. There we are, it's then stuck down and not flapping around. Have a bit of a knot going on there. Now obviously again, if you happen to have those trinkets, you could add some of those in. But we'll go back to our little heart that's on our dog punch. And we'll have some of those. This punch is worth its weight in gold just for this little heart. There. So we have, whether you are a dog lover or a cat lover, or whether like me, you love them all, we have some cards for you, and we've just created those just using that pack of designer series paper, the Playful Pets. Just lovely, fabulous little characters to make some lovely little cards. So I hope you've enjoyed those. Thank you for joining me this morning. We will be back, so there'll be things popping up during the course of the week, but we'll be back for another live on Friday morning for our All Request Friday. So do come back and join us then. Have a really good week.